Hi everyone, I hope all of you guys are doing well. So today in Concepts with Manuj, we are going to discuss our second topic, which is what is money, and this is one of the important topics of economics. In fact, every year there is some or the other question that comes from this particular topic. So I want you to hear it out very well, understand what are the different types of money, what are the different functions of money, and after that also understand what are the different types of money we need to understand for UPSC's perspective. And also from this topic, a lot of other questions like related to inflation, related to interest rate might also come, which we will discuss in the next class. So today we are just going to focus on the basics of money because it is a long topic and cannot be covered in one possible session. So first of all, let us just try to understand what money is. So money can be thought of in two different ways. One way is how economists think of money, how we need to understand as aspirants what money is, and how a layman, common person can understand money. A common person would normally say, in terms of money, when you say that this X person, Mr. Ambani, has a lot of money, he's very rich, he's very wealthy. So we say that in terms of wealth. But when it comes to economy, you have to understand money in a different way, and that is as stock of assets that can be used to make transactions. Now, what does this mean? This simply means that money is nothing like rupees, but a stock. Stock means a collection. It is an overall collection of some assets. Now, what do assets mean? Assets mean some kind of a resource that you can use, some kind of benefit you might get from that resource, and you own it. You have ownership over it. So, rupees or money is nothing but a stock or a collection of assets which can be used to make any kind of transactions between people. What does stock of money in a country mean? In a country, a stock of money simply means the amount of money that people of that country have in their hand. So, for example, let's say I live in India, you live in India. Let's say, just I'm giving an example, in our country, India, okay, just going to make a very rough diagram. Everyone who lives in India, okay, all these people who live in our country, from JNK to Kanyakumari, all these people who are living in our country, they have, let's say, stock of 100 crore rupees. I'm just saying for an example. Of course, it is much bigger number. Then this will be the nation's stock of money. This will be our stock of money. Okay. So this is important for you to understand. Money simply means a stock of assets, stock of some kind of a resource that we can use to make transactions. Next concept in money we are trying to understand is going to be functions of money. And what does functions of money mean? We will try to understand it simply from a barter system. We will take the example of a barter system and then try to understand why money is so important and what are the functions of money. So there are three functions of money. First, let's read these quickly. Store of value. Money is a store of value. Money is a unit of account, and money is a medium of exchange. It can be used for exchanging. So now let's compare it to the barter system. In barter system, what happens is, let's say we live in a world where there is a barter system. Now just imagine money does not exist and we barter everything. Let's say I have shoes. I'm a person who makes shoes. So I have shoes and you have goats. You're some person who rears goats. You have 100 goats and I have 50 pairs of shoes. All right. Now in this world, let's say I have 150 pairs of shoes. I make shoes and you have goats. Now tomorrow, let's say you go to the market. Since I have shoes, you have goats. I go to the market with my 50 pairs of shoes and I want to exchange them for wheat because I want to eat wheat. So I have shoes, you have goats. I go to the market to buy wheat, but there is no one there who is selling wheat because there is a barter system. I have to find the person who is actually selling wheat. So I go to the market, I look for wheat, then I find you, and you are having goats, and you tell me that you want shoes, but I tell you I don't want goats from you, I want wheat. So obviously you will tell me, you give me shoes in exchange of so many goats. Now, what is the problem here? What is the problem here is, first of all, number one is unit of account. How will you find out how many shoes you have to exchange for goats? Let's say you become ready. Okay, I will buy goats from you and later I will look for wheat. Maybe I can also use goat somehow in my house. So, what in terms of how many pairs of shoes you need to exchange for how many goats? How will you know that? Because there are so many different kind of things, right? It's not only about shoes and goats. There are millions of things in the world, and you might need so many millions of things. So one problem is that you cannot possibly, in a barter system, have a unit of account which is consistent. So you cannot go to the market and say, I want to buy car, I have t-shirts, I have 10,000 t-shirts, I will give you 10,000 t-shirts and give me car. Or you can go to the market, or I can go to the market and say, I need a car, I have 50 pairs of shoes, give me a car. That will become a very inefficient system. It will be a very difficult system economically. So money is a unit of account where some price is quoted in certain terms. So when I go to the market, I know I have 10 lakh rupees. I want to buy a car, and I go ahead and buy that car for 10 lakh rupees because I know every item, every product has some kind of units or price in which it is quoted. So that is known as unit of account. That money carries with it a unit of account in which you can measure it. The second is store of value. Money is not only unit of account but also a store of value, that whatever you have in the present will also be able to use in the future. So let's say today I'm a person, I go to the factory, I work hard, and let's say I the factory produces shoes and the factory does not have money. We are imagining a system, it's a barter system. So every factory worker that comes to the factory to make shoes, the factory simply gives them shoes in exchange of their labor. So I will go ahead and take 50, let's say 50 pairs of shoes. Tomorrow those 50 pairs of shoes might be useful, might not be useful. I don't know because there is no store of value in it. It is just simply 50 pairs of shoes. How do I know tomorrow I can buy with these 50 pair of shoes a certain number of wheat, a certain amount of wheat, a certain amount of goats, or a certain amount of cars? I don't know that, right? So money, the good thing is money is a store of value. If you work and earn a certain amount of money, you can spend it any day. If you earn today 100 rupees, you can spend that 100 rupees tomorrow also, day after tomorrow also, and you can get goods that are worth 100 rupees tomorrow, day after tomorrow, etc. Of course, inflation is a different thing. We are not going to consider that here. We just want to understand the function of money. So first, it is a store of value. It carries the present value into the future. Second, it is unit of account. It gives you terms or price terms in which you can quote it. And then finally, it is a medium of exchange, which means that it allows for transactions to take place easily. Now, in this particular example that I showed you, when you have shoes, when you have goats, when you have something else, you have wheat, it is very difficult to exchange because you don't know how much to exchange for how much, and there is no efficiency in the system. But when you have money, you can go to anyone and just simply buy what you want because you can just give them money, and in exchange you can get whatever goods you want. But if you have a barter system, you cannot go to anyone and get whatever you want because the other person might not want that particular item that you have. I have shoes, the other person who's selling goats or wheat might not want shoes. They might say, I don't want shoes, I want cameras. So they might ignore me, so I will not be able to fulfill my demands. So that's why money is very important, because it's a medium of exchange. So imagine a system where there is a barter system, then you will understand why money is important, and remember these three important uses of money. Now the next thing is principle of double coincidence of wants. This is very important. Money allows for transactions to happen because it satisfies this principle of double coincidence of wants. What is double coincidence of wants? Basically, imagine a barter system like I told you. It is important in a barter system will only be successful when both the people who are exchanging items have the same need of some item. So let's say I go to the market, I have shoes, and the other person goes to the market, he has goats. If I want goats and he wants shoes, then only we will be able to exchange. So that is double coincidence of wants, that both people should have what they need in order for barter system to take place or to be successful. But unfortunately, this is not true everywhere, and money allows for us, for everyone to meet this double coincidence of wants, because everyone accepts money as a one unit of account, one particular medium of exchange, and that's why we are able to exchange easily. All right. So I hope you understand this. This is very very important to understand, क्योंकि आपको इससे अब ये समझ में आएगा, you will understand from this what exactly are the functions, why the money is so important. All right. Now the next is types of money. There are two types of money simply. One is fiat money and the other is commodity money. Commodities money is nothing but commodity. Any kind of commodity like gold, silver, copper. When this is used to make money, that is known as commodity money. So for example, a coin, back in the days, coins used to be made of these metals. So that would be commodity money. But today fiat money is used. Fiat money means paper money. Nothing but paper money. Uska intrinsic value, there is no intrinsic value. See, gold has some value. People place some value on gold. So that's why it's commodity money. But fiat money has no intrinsic value attached to it. It is just declared by the government that this paper will be worth rupees 10, this paper will be worth rupees 100. So that is a fiat money. So now what we want to understand is why fiat money is used. Fiat money is used because it is very difficult to carry gold or any kind of metal money. You have to weight it, you have to understand the purity of it. So it becomes very, very difficult to have some money that is made in some kind of metal, some kind of precious metal. So that's why the world has moved from commodity money to fiat money. Because fiat money is something that is easy to value, it is easy to understand, it is backed by the government, it has some kind of trust factor in it, and you don't need to carry it around. You don't, there is no weight in really fiat money. You don't need to, unless there's a fake note. You don't need to, most of the money is obviously real money. There's a fake amount of money also in circulation, but it is not like gold where you have to understand or you have to really measure the purity of every piece. And also it is valued by everyone. Everyone over the last 50, 60 years, 100 years has moved to using of fiat money, and it is accepted by everyone now. So that's why fiat money is being used. Now we come to the most important part. Now we have understood what is money. We come to the most important part, which is quantity of money. Quantity of money is known as money supply, the amount of money that is there in the market. Quantity of money is nothing but a way to measure the money in the circulation in the system. And whenever RBI does anything with money supply, it is known as monetary policy. So simply remember this: whenever a central bank does anything with money supply, it increases money supply, it decreases money supply, then it is taking a monetary policy action. It is simply taking a monetary policy action. All right, that is known as monetary policy when RBI plays around with the money supply in the market. All right. So here we will now learn about how quantity of money is calculated, how it can be understood. See, I want here you to understand a very simple example. Okay, you are a person, there is a bank, okay, and there is another third person. Let's say this is A, this is B, and this is XYZ bank. You have, let's say, 100 rupees cash with you. You go to the bank, you have a account there, a savings account there. You deposit rupees 50 in that savings account. Okay, so you deposit rupees 50. So this 100 cash, now you have 50 rupees left. Okay, because minus 50 you gave to the bank. The bank deposits this amount in your name, A. Bank will have a particular ledger or a book in which it will write A plus 50. That bank has to pay in A's name it has 50 rupees. Okay, this is how bank will record that bank has to pay. So for bank, this is some kind of a liability. What does liability mean? Liability simply means it owes you, or it has to give you in the future 50 rupees. If you, tomorrow you ask the bank for 50 rupees, it has to give you 50 rupees. So for the bank, this 50 rupees is a liability, or it owes you, it has to give you 50 rupees in the future. All right. So bank, so how will this look like? A का नोटबुक हो, लेट्स से 8 का नोटबुक है, उसमें 100 रुपीज कैश वाज देयर, minus 50 rupees cash left, and this 50 is in bank. Okay, XYZ bank will write it like this: A has deposited 50 rupees. So now the balance with the bank is, let's say, 50 rupees. Total balance with the bank is 50 rupees. All right. Tomorrow, this B person comes to the bank and it tells the bank it has an account. B का भी यहाँ पे account है, and B has no, it has rupees zero. B has not deposited any money with the bank. So B tells XYZ bank that I want to loan from you of rupees 50. So the bank says, okay, I have 50 rupees that I got from A. I can give you that loan for 50 rupees. So here the bank will say B, A, from A it gives money to B of 50 rupees. Okay. And then it has zero left with it. But remember, A can come to bank anytime and ask for 50 rupees. All right. So it still owes 50 rupees to A. Now B के account में क्या आ जाएगा? In B's account, it will be cash 50. It got from the bank. Okay. And it owes bank. अभी मैंने liability के बारे में आपने बताया था. So now B has a liability, right? That it has to give bank 150 rupees. This bank 50 rupees has come from B. This 50 rupees has come from the bank, so it owes the bank 50 rupees, and then B can use this amount of money anywhere in the market. Now, if we look at, let's say, the country, let's say this example that I've given you, it's country, it's a country C, this entire situation. In country C, let's say only these three people exist: the bank, the A, and the B. So first, A had 100 rupees cash, bank had zero, B had zero. So the total value of the money in country C was 100 rupees. Now A goes to bank and gives it 50 rupees, and it is left with 50 rupees. So now even today, after this transaction, the total amount of money in the bank is 100 rupees, or total amount of money in the country is 100 rupees, not in the bank. Country is 100 rupees. Even after this transaction, यहाँ भी 100 था, यहाँ भी 100 है. Now here, when B comes in the third transaction, when B comes to the bank, takes 50 rupees from the bank, A has 50, B has 50, so 100 हो गया. But bank also has 50 on its balance. How? Because bank needs to pay this money to the A. यहाँ पे government आ जाती है बीच में. Government is backing this particular 50 rupees. Government is saying, okay, I will back this 50 rupees for you. Tomorrow, if A comes to the bank and bank does not have any money, B has not paid back yet, then government will say, okay, I will print 50 rupees and I will give to bank, which can pay to A. Let's say this is the situation. So today, after this transaction, you have actually increased the supply of money by 50 rupees in the market. In the country C, after the bank has given that loan to B, this imaginary money has been created with the bank, because bank actually does not have the cash 50, but on the books it will say I have to still give A 50. So this imaginary money has been created by bank, where A also knows मेरे पास तो 100 ही है, because मैंने 50 बैंक में डिपॉजिट किए हैं. How will A think about it? I have 100 rupees because 50 is with me, 50 is with the bank. Bank has 0, but B has 50. B actually has 50 cash, right? So this 150 is the new amount of money that is there in the country now. So this is known as multiplying of money. Later we will study this multiplying of money. This is a very important concept, but I wanted to tell you this concept before we actually jump into money supply so that we understand this particular transaction. Okay, because now A also feels it has 100 rupees, B also has 50 rupees, bank has nothing, but 150 rupees have been created in the system. This extra 50 rupees have been created in the system. All right, so monetary policy के बारे में we were talking about. Basically, these are the kinds of money that floats around in the system. Now I told you with my example that money can literally be created from thin air because of this whole transaction that takes place. So that's why we have to look at money from a more detailed perspective. And these are the different kinds of monies that are there in the system. C is nothing but currency. Currency is hard cash. Hard cash meaning coins and notes. जितने भी इंडिया में coins and notes हैं, that is currency. That is the first measure of money, C. Then M1. M1 is currency plus demand deposits. Demand deposits are deposits made by the people in the banks, and they can take out that money anytime they want on demand. So let's say I go to the bank and make a deposit. It is not a savings deposit. It's in my, let's say, my salary account. It does not earn any interest. That is simply currency plus demand deposit. That is M1. So currency in the market, let's say 100 rupees are there currency in the India, and then people make a deposit of 200 rupees in their accounts, bank accounts. That is known as M1. M2 is M1 plus savings deposits with post office savings banks. So M2 is nothing but M1 plus saving deposits with post office savings bank. Post office आपको पता है, post office is there. In that post office, whatever savings deposits accounts have been opened by people, that plus M1, meaning currency plus demand deposits plus savings deposits, equals to M2. And these two are known as narrow money. Okay, it is very liquid. This is very liquid. Look, liquid means what? You can easily use anytime, readily available to you. Currency, notes and coins are very easily, you can use them for transactions. But deposits को आपको निकालना पड़ेगा, आपको बैंक जाना पड़ेगा, you will have to fill a form, you have to take it out. So that's why it is illiquid. It takes time. Liquid means something that you can easily use. So currency is C. M1 is currency plus demand deposits. M2 is currency plus demand deposits plus savings deposits in post office banks. So C, M1, M2. Remember. And this is narrow money. Narrow money is something that is basically more liquid. Now, what is M3? M3 is nothing but M1 plus net time deposits of commercial banks. Basically, there are different kind of deposits. Time deposits, non-time deposits. Time deposit means that you are limited by the amount of time in which you can take them out. Let's say वो fixed deposits normally जिनको बोलते हैं. So let's say you go to a bank and you say I want to deposit, create a fixed deposit for 1 year. That is a time deposit. Okay. So M3 is nothing but M1 plus time deposits. Currency plus demand deposit plus time deposits. उसमें savings आप count नहीं करोगे. Why is M3 broad money? Because it is less liquid. क्योंकि एक साल के लिए your money got locked as fixed deposit. That's why it is less liquid. All right, least liquid. Then M4 is nothing but M3 plus total deposits with PO savings organizations. So whatever deposits, all the kinds of deposits with post office savings minus national savings certificates is known as M4. Now see, this is hard to remember, hard to understand also. I can understand that, but try to do it in this way. Money in circulation. आप अगर मनी इन सर्कुलेशन के बारे में सोचोगे तो क्या है, मैंने अभी बैंक के एग्जांपल से बताया. बैंक के एग्जांपल से याद करो, एक बंदा है ए, बैंक है, और फिर सी बंदा है, ठीक है, बी बंदा है, बी. करेंसी यू अंडरस्टैंड, ऑब्वियसली नोट्स प्लस कॉइन्स, दैट इज करेंसी. M1 ओके, M1 इज नथिंग बट करेंसी, वट एवर करेंसी इज देयर, करेंसी तो इंक्लूड करोगे ही. Okay, because currency, see here also currency gets included, here also currency gets, because currency is included in everyone. So currency plus demand deposits. So whatever deposit I have done, I told you I did 50 rupees of demand deposit here, कि मैं कभी भी निकाल सकता हूँ. डिमांड डिपॉजिट, डिपॉजिट दो तरह का होता है, डिमांड और टाइम. डिमांड मतलब एनी टाइम यू कैन टेक इट आउट, एंड टाइम मीन्स फिक्स डिपॉजिट जो होता है, यू हैव अ टाइम लिमिट ऑन इट, 1 ईयर, 2 ईयर, 3 ईयर, फिक्स हो जाता है कि इतने साल बाद ही निकाल सकते हो, आपका लॉक हो जाता है पैसा. So C is currency, M1 is currency plus demand deposit that you can take out any time. लिक्विडिटी के बारे में सोचो इसमें कि कौन सा जल्दी आप यूज कर सकते हो. लिक्विडिटी विच वन यू कैन यूज राइट अवे, जल्दी से. तो सबसे पहले करेंसी यूज कर सकते हो, फिर M1 यूज कर सकते हो क्योंकि डिमांड डिपॉजिट से कभी भी निकाल सकते हो, क्योंकि बैंक और इंडिविजुअल के टर्म्स में सोच रहे हो आप. इसमें बस बैंक के बारे में सोचो और अपने बारे में सोचो. M2, M1 प्लस M1 प्लस सेविंग्स डिपॉजिट विद पोस्ट ऑफिस बैंक्स. सेविंग्स डिपॉजिट्स, सेविंग डिपॉजिट क्या होता है, उसमें थोड़ा सा रिस्ट्रिक्शन होता है. यू कैन टेक इट आउट इन 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, 1 ईयर, 2 ईयर, बिकॉज उसमें इंटरेस्ट रेट मिलता है आपको. तो आप उसमें ऐसे ही नहीं निकाल सकते उसको, ठीक है. देन M3 एंड M4 आता है. M3 इज व्हाट, M3 इज सिंपली M1 प्लस टाइम डिपॉजिट्स, या फिर टाइम डिपॉजिट से बोल दो इनको. It is even harder to take out. This is easier to take out, saving deposits, but time deposits are even harder to take out. तो पहले वाले में क्या है, करेंसी है, फिर डिमांड डिपॉजिट है, फिर सेविंग डिपॉजिट है, और फिर टाइम डिपॉजिट है. डिमांड, सेविंग, टाइम. डिमांड इज इजिएस्ट, ओके. सेविंग इज उससे हार्डर टू टेक आउट, फिर टाइम इज इवन हार्डर टू टेक आउट. And then after that finally M4 is there, which is M3, this plus the entire total deposits with the पोस्ट ऑफिस सेविंग्स. तो इस तरह से आपको इसको रिमेंबर करना होगा, समझना होगा, याद रखना होगा. इफ यू स्टिल हैव एनी डाउट्स, लेट मी नो. दिस इज अ डिफिकल्ट टॉपिक टू अंडरस्टैंड. ट्राई टू रीड इट फ्रॉम द बुक्स. If you look at my video, then read it from the books, or you read the books before and then look at my video, it will become much easier for you to understand this particular topic. So this is today. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll try to explain to you. Take care. Bye bye.